It's a red state versus blue state trivia challenge. Let's find out how well you know our 50 states. And our very first question asks this: which state is the biggest producer of wind energy? Is it red state Texas or blue state California? So I should tell you, for the purposes of this quiz, a red state we're defining as a state that has voted for the Republican presidential candidate in the last two presidential elections, and vice versa. A blue state is a state that has voted for the Democratic candidate in the last two elections. All right, the answer here: while California does produce quite a bit of wind energy, Texas produces far more electricity from wind than any other country. It's not even close. But that does bring us to question two. Texas is also our biggest oil producing state, but which state follows Texas as the second biggest producer of oil? Is that red state Alaska or blue state New Mexico? And by the way, this state pumps close to 668 million barrels of oil a year, and that state is New Mexico. All right, question three. Which U.S. state is geographically closest to the continent of Africa? Is it red state Florida or blue state Maine? Now, this seems pretty clear-cut as you look at the map, but our maps are lying to us. The easternmost point of Maine is closest to Morocco on the African continent. It's kind of skewed because of the curvature of the Earth, but Maine is geographically closer than Florida to Africa. All right, question four. Which state has the highest average annual rainfall? Is it red state Louisiana or blue state Hawaii? Well, Louisiana receives an average of nearly 57 inches of rain every year. It is a very wet state, but that is just slightly less than Hawaii, which is considered the wettest U.S. state. Question five. Which U.S. state has the most national parks? Is it red state Alaska or blue state California? Well, the two are neck and neck. One state has 8 parks, the other has 9. The leader, though, is California, at least in the number of national parks, but Alaska does have far more park land than any other state. Question 6. Which state has the most miles of interstate per square mile? Is it red state Indiana or blue state Rhode Island? Well, the state that's known as the Crossroads of America and the most interstate per square mile is Indiana. Question 7. In which state do chickens outnumber humans by about 200 to 1? Is that red state Alabama or blue state Delaware? Well, cock-a-doodle-doo to Delaware, where chickens outnumber people by about 200 to 1. Question 8. Which state is home to America's only operational diamond mine, Crater of Diamonds State Park? Is that park in red state Arkansas or blue state Hawaii? Well, the country's only operational diamond mine is in Arkansas, believe it or not. Question 9. According to a study by LendingTree, which state has the worst drivers? Is that red state Oklahoma or blue state Massachusetts? You're probably guessing your own state. I know I am, but apparently there are a lot more wicked bad drivers in Massachusetts, with the highest number of driving incidents, which includes accidents, DUIs, speeding, and citations per 1,000 drivers. Question 10. Which state boasts the most diners in the country? Is it red state Oklahoma or blue state New Jersey? Well, the diner capital of the United States, and probably the world, as a matter of fact, is New Jersey. Question 11. Which state has the highest rate of cat ownership in the U.S.? Is it red state Nebraska or blue state Vermont? Well, approximately 45% of households in this state own at least one cat, and that state is Vermont. Question 12. Which state is home to the college that was the first to admit both women and African Americans? Was that red state Ohio or blue state Oregon? Well, Oberlin College first admitted women in 1833 and African Americans in 1835, and Oberlin College is in Ohio. Question 13. We're halfway through now. Which state has the highest median household income? Is it red state Alaska or blue state Massachusetts? Well, in this case, the state with the highest median household income of nearly $100,000 is Massachusetts. I thought I might be able to get you because of all of that oil money in Alaska, but it is Massachusetts. Question 14, which state is the #1 producer of honey in the country? Is it red state North Dakota or blue state Oregon? Well, believe it or not, the bees are working overtime to make honey in North Dakota. I was surprised by that. All right, question 15. Which state is home to residents with the longest average commute time? Is it red state Wyoming out west or blue state New York on the East Coast? Well, New York has the longest average commute time in the United States, with workers spending more than 33 minutes commuting to work. I thought I might be able to fool you because Wyoming is such a big, big state. All right, question 16. Which state is home to a very large tree, enormous tree, named General Sherman? Is that big tree in red state Mississippi or blue state California? Well, California Sequoia National Park is home to the world's biggest tree by volume. It is a sequoia and it's named General Sherman. Question 17. Which state is the highest above sea level on average? Is that red state Montana or blue state Colorado? Well, on average, Colorado is the highest state in the United States above sea level, an average elevation of 6,800 feet or 2,074 meters above sea level. Question 18, which state has the highest percentage of women per capita? Is that red state Florida or blue state Delaware? You got a lot of retirees in Florida. Men die before women on average. I thought I could fool you, but the answer is Delaware. There are 93 men for every 100 women. That's the highest in the nation. Question 19, which state has the youngest population on average? Is that red state Utah or blue state Virginia? Well, Utah has the youngest population in the United States with a median age of 31.9 years. Question 20, which state has the oldest population on average? Is it red state Florida or blue state Maine? Well, Florida may be famous as a retirement destination, but Maine has the oldest population, a median age of 45 years. Question 21, Jamaican reggae star Bob Marley lived in which state from 1965 to 1977? This is kind of surprising. Was it red state Tennessee or blue state Delaware? Well, Bob Marley spent 12 years living in Delaware. Question 22, which state is home to Lake? You see it on your screen. I'm not even going to try, but it is the longest place name in America. A very long lake name. Is it red state South Dakota or blue state Massachusetts? Lake, you see it on your screen right there, is in Massachusetts. Question 23, we're on the home stretch now. California is home to 187 billionaires. That is the most in the U.S. by far. But which state is number 2? Is it red state Texas or blue state New York? Well, Texas may have a lot of oil, but New York has a lot of money, and it comes in second with 135 billionaires. Florida, by the way, has 78 billionaires, followed by Texas with 73 billionaires. Question 24, which state is home to towns named Accident, Secretary Boring, and Crapo? Where do you live? I live in Crapo. Is it red state Iowa or blue state Maryland? Well, Accident, Secretary Boring, and Crapo are all places in Maryland. And by the way, if I'm mispronouncing Crapo, you can leave me a comment down there below. All right, that brings us to our final question. Which U.S. state has the lowest divorce rate in the country? Is it red state Idaho or blue state Vermont? Well, it is Vermont that has the lowest divorce rate in the U.S., 9.2 divorces per 1,000 married women. So there you have it, 25 questions about our 50 red and blue states. You can give us a big thumbs up if you'd like to see more red and blue state quizzes like this one. And you can check out videos and more quizzes about our U.S. cities and states. I'll put a link right here on the screen.